Patrik, thank you for speaking to PTI. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
Let me start by asking you, IKEA has been in India for a long time now. It's been almost more than a decade that your presence is in India. How do you rate the Indian market, and what are the challenges that you have faced, and what are the learnings that you have done in the last the decades of your operations here?
So thank you for having me, first of all. So IKEA opened its first retail store here in 2018. Previously to that, though, we have been in India for more than 50 years with our sourcing, so buying products made in India or making products in India for the world. So we have, I think, quite a lot of experience already from that we took with us. Retailing in this period, we learned a lot. I think we spent many hours in people's homes, really trying to understand how people live here. What are the challenges, needs, dreams, aspirations of the many people? And this knowledge we translate into how we meet the customer here, because it's super important, of course, to be relevant. And we cannot show a Swedish way of living to an Indian family and believe that they think that this is great. Yeah. So we have learned how people live, and by that then showing solutions for their problems and dreams in our stores and in our communication. So that has been one track which took a lot of time. Then we also, on the expansion side, we set off with a big plan to open big stores across India. Then with the development of e-commerce and changes in consumer behavior, we had to almost pause a bit, learn and see how is the future customer meeting. So we have now changed the expansion strategy to be much more of a mix of digital, smaller format and bigger format. So that we have learned. On the people side, we also spent a lot of time training people. Luckily, I think we found an amazing group of talented people in India. We look for values when we recruit, and that we can basically teach people what to do later on if we have the right person. And we have a fantastic team now, so we have done that bit. On the logistics side, we've also built up the capabilities to now fulfill in an effective way in the markets we are. So I think there's many areas where we have learned, developed, and now I think we sit in a very good place where we can look forward and expand our presence in India, knowing that we have done the homework.
You wanted to set up a store way back in 2008, and it took you 1 decade to open the first store. Where are we right now? What's your expansion plans for India right now?
So today we have 7 stores of different formats at the moment. We also have online presence in more than in most markets around, and the plans looking forward is to really make another 25 stores in the coming 3-4 years. By 2030 we would like to have about 30 stores. This will deepen the penetration mostly in the markets where we are. We'll also do a few more tier 2 cities. But the big focus is on deepening the presence and really making sure that we are accessible to the many peoples in the markets we are. I mean, Delhi is a gigantic market, 30 million people. It's a country in itself. Yeah. And today we have 1 store in West Delhi. We're opening a second in a couple of weeks, but that's by far not enough. We are looking at Gurgaon, Noida, but even more so later on, of course, many more. So a huge focus on those cities.
You also spoke of tier 2 cities. Which are the cities that you are looking at besides this metro, Hyderabad, Bangalore and Delhi, Chennai?
So Pune is not a tier 2 city for us. We're already open there. But around Delhi, we can say that we're aiming at Chandigarh, Jaipur, Lucknow, are those cities that becomes closest and in mind.
So how big is IKEA right now in India? How many employees do you have? How do you grow this organization from here on, maybe in over the next 4-5 years?
I think it's a great question in the sense that we have really looking at an expansion period now. So we have about 2,500 employees at the moment, but we're looking at doubling that until 2030, which needs another 2,500 colleagues will come in. So of those, we have 350 new leaders, which of course needs extra grooming, so to speak. So we have set up a development center now, based out of Bangalore, where we will train not only the people that we have in our stores to further skill build and so on, but also the new people we recruit. So we give them a good start so that we can open all these stores with competent people that can meet our customers in a good way. And we've already now started running various assessment centers in the spring, both in Delhi and in Bangalore. And it's amazing to see what talent exists out in the market. and that is interested to come and work with us. So we believe that's very good potential. However, it needs a lot of focus. People is people is people. That's what's going to make your business run. You know, it's nice to expand, but if you don't have the right people in the stores or in your teams that meets the customers, you will not succeed.
IKEA has been sourcing from India for a longer period than it has had its retail stores presence. How big is the sourcing from India right now? How many amount of products are you buying from India, Indian artisans?
Yeah, so we've been sourcing in India for more than 50 years. And I think we can say it's been a very good story. We have sourced a lot of textiles, metal and plastics, so for various products. So we export around 4,000 crores worth of product every year to the stores abroad. Then we're also using more of that we use internally and selling in India. The ambition is to, within the coming 3-4 years again, maybe, to double the sourced volumes in India. Both by increasing export, but also that we really want to have that big expansion plan I talk about really should drive sales in India as well, right? So the share of local sourcing will increase and we will have more stores, so by that is an exponential increase. So big hopes. We will need to develop the amount of products we're doing. Today it's the traditional products, but now we want to do more furniture, more wood-based, and this is the next step of now making furniture in India for us.
Quality has been one of the issues because IKEA maintains a particular standards across the world. What have you done to upgrade the product sourcing that you are sourcing from India so that it meets the product quality and standards that IKEA set for itself worldwide?
So with the current suppliers we have in India, it's been a very long relationship. I think the average is like 11 years or something, and some have been partners for over 40 years. So it's been a journey with all of them. We work together to develop both the way they source their materials, how the factories are being, from an environmental point of view, how wastewater is treated, how they source their energy. We work with the product quality as well. So we have a big team in India. I think it's more than 200 people who are working with these 40 suppliers in order to keep standards up and to develop together. And we don't have any problems today to keep standards for the world with the Indian suppliers. They're fantastic. So looking forward to onboard more now when we go into new materials. So
the retail landscape, Patrik, is changing fast in this country, and there is competition you are facing as well. How is IKEA adapting to the changing customer preferences and the competition that's coming in for you?
A big change is, of course, the whole expansion strategy. As I mentioned, we came in intending to build the big IKEA stores. Now we see a much more varied landscape of formats, from very small to very big. And of course, e-commerce, today being 30% of what we sell, is a very important part, and we believe that both e-commerce and maybe AI commerce driven will also change, and we are very actively pursuing this interest already, so we will be among the starters this time. So I see we have changed a lot the way we sell. Then in terms of products and how we meet the customers, I think we have learned a lot over these years what resonates with the Indian customer and the consumers. So we meet the many people in the stores in a much better way today, more relevant solutions, more relevant price points. So I think we have adapted quite a bit.
Patrik, you have an e-commerce presence in this country. You deliver products overnight and in some places in 48 hours. Tell us exactly what are you trying to do with the e-commerce strategy? How many markets are you serving right now, and where do you want to expand it over the next 4 or 5 years?
Mm-hmm. So we've expanded now, so we're present in 80 plus markets around India. And as you say, in most of those we deliver within 1 day. But that is also true if you order something in a store and you will not pick it up, you get it delivered next day. To a large extent it's 1 day after purchase. E-commerce will continue. We see that when we open only e-commerce we get a certain success. But when we combine stores and e-commerce together, that's when the real growth starting, because then people can come to a store, touch and feel product, they meet the co-workers, they might even have a bite in the restaurant, you know, and then they shop online much more. So for us, the combination of e-commerce and offline is very, very important. The offline stores really build the brand. You really get that feeling of, wow, this is different. It's not just a furniture shop. This means inspiration, it's the way the co-workers can help you and so on. So we really believe in the combination. So that's what was going to strengthen. So it's both deepening the offline penetration while then serving online better and better.
What would be the mix of offline and e-commerce right now that you're serving right now?
Today it's about 30% online. So in same store markets, we believe the online will grow faster. But of course, when we are quite few, we don't have so many stores yet. So when we open a new store, that drives a lot of offline sales. So it will be around 30 to 35% over the coming year because we're going to grow offline a lot. But I also online will grow as fast, if not a bit faster than offline growth.
Okay, Patrik, can you talk on some numbers? Where exactly are we in terms of revenues that you earn from Indian market, and where do you see over the next, after this expansion is completed, where do you see that revenue going?
So we're around 2,000 crores of turnover today, but we're in a very nice double-digit growth phase at the moment. We believe we can quadruple this by 2030, so 8,000 crores is the ambition. And then with about 30 touch points and a well-functioning online, both e-commerce and AI commerce, we believe that will be where we should be. Yeah.
And how far are you from break-even?
We are about, I think, the end, what we call FY28, so autumn 28, we believe that should be possible. It depends a lot on the world. I mean, what happened over the past 4 or 5 months outside with Iran, and this is of course not helping. But in a stable situation, it should be possible. But now we're living in a very volatile world, so who knows. But it's not so important for us if it's 28, 29 or 30. The ambition, of course, with India for IKEA is long term. It's a growth story for the coming 50 years maybe. We look at the population size, we look at economical development, we look at the young population, the migration to the cities. All of these things are talking for that there will be a huge demand for life at home experiences. People would like to have someone who can help them to create a better life at home, who can be their partner when they start their family, who can be their partner when the kids are growing up. And we really want to be that one. And this is the opportunity we see in India over the coming period. So
you spoke of the Indian opportunity. When you compare the Indian market with global markets or presence across the globe, what growth rates, how do you compare the Indian growth rate with other markets? Europe is saturated for sure, where your home base. How do you rate the Indian market when it comes to growth with other markets?
So in growth, of course, the Indian market is one of the fastest growing for us in the world in percentage. Then at the moment our volumes are still quite small. So we hope and expect India to deliver a huge growth over the coming 10-15 years. And in line with that, we get more accessible, that the economy is growing, more people are moving to the cities. I'm sure it will happen. But we cannot compare India to the US market or the German market yet. But maybe in 10 years we can.
You're hopeful for that?
Yes.
So, Indian market has evolved. The Indian policy making has evolved. You've seen over the past 2 decades since you've been trying to enter this country, the policy shifting, evolving from a near ban to opening up for single brand retail. What more steps the country needs to take for brands to welcome brands like IKEA to come into it?
I think the market itself and the opportunity is the big driver. So I think all brands are eyeing India from the point of view of the opportunity. Then the authorities over the past many years have done many good steps, I would say. It is in retailing, then it was first of the local sourcing demands were adjusted. They allowed for online sales. All of this was not allowed when we started. So over time this has become better. Then you have the GST reform that I think did a big thing for business and trade. You have the whole digitalization process that has also helped. So I think there are many good policies. And from a brand point of view, I don't think there's anything that really would stop people. It's the market opportunity is there. Then if you go in on your own or with a partner, so I don't think it's so much from a policy point of view there.
So where exactly will you say IKEA is right now in India? Is it building? Is the brand in the building process, or has it already established? Where exactly would you rate IKEA
I think we're quite early, I would say really early. It's a start-up in that sense. Of course, many people are aware of that something called IKEA exists. So when we make marketing service, so how many knows about the brand? It can be 40% is the highest, maybe they know. But what does IKEA really stand for? Do they know that we have a passion for life at home? Do they understand that we're not selling products but solutions to their needs? Do they understand that we come with a very strong sustainability focus, that our products are very safe from both how they are produced to what they contain? I don't think that. So I don't think people really understand what we want them to know. So I would say it's a long way to go, but we're on a good base, and I think we are very well respected. And we want to create a big love, so more to do.
Finally, Patrik, since we're running short of time, what is the single biggest lesson that you've learned being in India for all these years, and what is it that will take it forward from here?
So my personal single biggest discovery maybe with India is that everybody believes tomorrow is going to be a better day. And that positive outlook changes how things are done and how people are behaving. And this is very different from many other markets today where the future is not so necessarily positive, right? But here there is such a belief and the dreams are so obvious. So I think saying that it all starts at home and we want to deliver your dreams, be a part of your dreams is a very nice brand position for us. So that hope and belief, I think it was really makes India so exciting at the moment.
Patrik, you have already invested a lot of money in this country. Take us through how much have you already invested and what are your investment plans for the next 3-4 years or 5 years from now?
We have over these 8 years we've been in India so far, built 3 large stores. We've invested in logistics infrastructure. We are building 2 large mixed-use developments. On top of that, we have invested in a solar farm in Rajasthan. We have a GCC, we have an IT company, we have sourcing needs. So we made a commitment to the authorities back when we got our single brand status that we would invest 10,500 crores. This we have already now surpassed, and we believe that within the coming 4 years we will double that amount.
And you're also looking at mixed-use developments as well, particularly in NCR region. Explain to us what are you looking at there?
So we have. So it all started many years ago. We discovered that when we build an IKEA store by itself, it drives a lot of visitation, and around that many other retailers started to appear. So then we started to do retail parks. It's when you buy a piece of land and you kind of build your store and you sell the land around you to other people. The next development was a shopping center. So you put an IKEA store within the mall and you leased out all the other tenants. And this is what we're doing here now. So we're using the IKEA store as an anchor, creating a space for 250 other retailers. So create a shopping center experience. On top of that, we see that we have more development rights. So we will build offices and in some places also hotels. So this is one way of using the IKEA store as power, as attraction, but also making sure that you use the FSI that you get when you buy land in India.
So how many land parcels you already own and how many more are you looking at?
So we have at the moment 5. So it's the 3 IKEA stores, the big ones that we have in Hyderabad, Bangalore and Mumbai. And now we have 2 plots then in Noida and in Gurgaon where we're building the mixed-use developments.
On that positive note, thank you very much, Patrik, for speaking to us. Thank you so much.